ask you a question. Is there any country like United States of America, Canada, Brazil, there on the earth? Yes, it is there. But this country was not present on the earth before 1453. The land of the North America, South America, and Australia were there on the earth. But we didn't know that even such a land like North America, South America, and Australia even existed on the earth because we knew only about three continents: Asia, Africa, and Europe. Other than these three continents, we never knew other four continents also existed on the earth. That those land existed on the earth, but we didn't know about it before 1543. So let's understand a basic details of the event of the 1453. What happened in the year of the 1453 that becomes a source and that made the environment conducive for the geographical discoveries. Geographical discovery is not a single event, it was like a revolution in the entire humanity. Before geographical discoveries, there was misconception and there was myth among the Indian society that if you cross the ocean, you will be out of your religion. You will never come back to your motherland. So that was the misconception before the geographical discovery. Before geographical discoveries, we never knew what is there outside the ocean. So there was a lot of misconception lingering around the ocean theory. And even the people didn't understand even the earth is round or flat. There was no idea about it. People were seeing like the entire earth is round. Sorry, the entire earth is flat, so it will remain flat only. But it was only after the geographical discoveries people were able to establish that the earth is actually not flat, but it is actually round. A lot of misconceptions about the shape of the earth, about the ocean, was driven out after the geographical discoveries. Geographical discoveries has the most profound effect on the entire humanity, and I am going to talk about that only. What led the people to go for geographical discovery? Geographical discovery was not a single task and a small task. It was a big task and it has to be performed by so many people. And it was like a revolution. And it all happened after the event of the 1453. Now let's understand. Before the year 1453, trade between Oriental countries like India and China and Europe used to happen through the Bosphorus Strait. Bosphorus Strait is a narrow passage of the water body connecting Black Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. And this Bosphorus Strait is lying just in the middle of the city of the Constantinople. That city right now is known as Istanbul, the beautiful city of Istanbul. All of you know that is the city in the Turkey, and that Turkish city we all know that is a fabulous city of the world right now. And it is not fabulous right now, but it was fabulous before for more than uh, 800 years or even more than that. This particular city was the capital city of the Eastern Roman Empire, popularly known as the Byzantine Empire. And that city was uh, named after the Emperor Constantine. And this particular city was the symbol of the Roman Empire. The prosperity of the Roman Empire was at its peak in its own era. But later, that Roman Empire got disintegrated into two different empires, Western Roman Empire and Eastern Roman Empire. Very soon, Western Roman Empire around 476 AD got disintegrated and it no longer existed. But Eastern Roman Empire, also known as Byzantine Empire, existed up to 1453. Up to 1453, it was of profound importance in the entire world. This was a very big empire of the time. But there is an incident we already know that the Islam emerged in the Saudi Arabia in 570 AD with the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. He gave a statement that whoever wins the city of the Constantinople will be heaven dwellers. And keeping inspiration from this particular ahadith of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, many sultan of the time tried to invade the city of the Constantinople. But during the era of the 7th century, when Islam emerged in Saudi Arabia, the city of the Constantinople was the major power of the world. So it was not possible for Muslims to invade Constantinople. So till then, it remained as usual. But it was then in 1299 when Osmania Sultanate came into force. It started emerging in the modern day in the land of the Turkey, and slowly it started expanding at a rapid pace. And in 1453, one of the sultan sat on the throne of the Osmania Sultanate, and that was Sultan Mehmed. Before Sultan Mehmed, many sultan and caliph of the world, caliph of the Muslim empires, tried to invade Constantinople, but it was not possible at all, but to no avail. And it was due to the big wall surrounding the city of the Constantinople. That was a very strong wall, and invading, and also the geographical location was such that it was very difficult for the sultan and the caliph to invade and and win that particular city. But then, in the year of the 1453, Sultan Mehmed sat on the throne of the Usmania Sultanate and invaded the city of the Constantinople. And because of his because of his astute and the wisdom that he possessed, he was able to win the city of the Constantinople. It was the first time in the history of the humankind that cannon was used in any war. And using the discovery of the cannon, the war of the Constantinople was driven out, and Sultan Muhammad was able to win the city of the Constantinople. Once the city of the Constantinople was won over, the entire Muslim Ummah celebrated the win of the city of the Constantinople, and it was renamed as city of the Istanbul. That we already know that there is a city in the Turkish land, and that is the beautiful city of the Istanbul. And after winning over the city of the Constantinople and renaming it to Istanbul, the Bosphorus Strait that was flowing in between the middle of the city, that was blocked. That Bosphorus Strait was the center of the trade between Europe and the Oriental countries, and that trade route was blocked for Europeans. European had already lost Western Roman Empire and Eastern Roman Empire, and even lastly, the the city of the Constantinople, the symbol of the prosperity of the Byzantine Empire, was also driven out in the year of the 1453. That was the last hope of the European, and that also driven out. No hope left for the Europeans. Europeans felt very much hopelessness and helplessness. And this helplessness led him to do geographical discoveries. Those Europeans tried very hard to reach India, but he was never able to come to India because the land route that was available to reach India, that was blocked by the Osmania Sultanate. Osmania Sultanate slowly expanded itself into intercontinental empire that was spreaded in North Africa, Gulf region of the Asia, and Europe also. And having such a big empire did not allow the Europeans to reach India. And taking advantage of the blockade of the Bosphorus Strait, Arab intermediary merchant benefited from it. They sold and they bought things at a cheaper prices from India and sold it to Europeans at a very high prices. And due to that, Europeans were suffering a lot. Europeans was trying to find a way out to reach India, and that was very difficult for them. And this was the time when the technological advancement in the making of the ship industry came, and also the working of the compass came to be known to all the peoples. So these two technological advancement in the making of the in heavy ship and in the working of the compass helped people to explore the deep ocean. Till then, people did not go to the deep ocean. People never have a courage to go on an expedition into the deep ocean. People traveled on the coastal areas of the ocean, but traveling into the deep ocean was a very difficult task for any human being. But Europeans, seeing no hope from the Ottomans, tried to find out a way to reach India through ocean. And the two technological advancement in the ship making industry and in the working of the compass helped Europeans. And Europeans made so many heavy ships, and it was like a mass revolution among Europeans. Europeans, common Europeans collected money, and the church helped all the common Europeans to collect money, and and that was led by the church. And after collection of the money, the heavy ship was constructed, and after construction of the heavy ship, 500 or thousands or even more than thousands people traveled into the deep ocean using that heavy ship. Many people died in the way. Many people caught so many diseases in the deep ocean. Many people got lost in the deep ocean. There was so much heavy storm used to come, and people did not know anything about the deep ocean. That was really a very frustrating and tiresome journey for the people. They tried very hard. Many people went on an expedition, but they never came back. But even then, Europeans were so much enthusiastic to reach to India. Their only purpose was to reach India. Why they were trying to chase India? They were trying to reach India. It was because the prosperity and the wealth of India. People even in the European countries were aware of the prosperity and wealth of India. Those time, we already know the GDP of the entire world. India was having 24% of the GDP of the entire world. That was the wealthiest country of the time. India was the wealthiest country of that time in the entire world. And seeing this, every person, every a common human being wanted to from Europe wanted to reach India. Their only sole purpose was to reach India. That was their only purpose of their life. And in this way, many people went on expedition. They died. They lost hope. They lost in the deep ocean. They caught so many diseases. Many people went into the deep ocean and traveling for uh, 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 entire month, or even they spent 6 months or even more than a year in the deep ocean, but they did not find any India. And seeing no hope, many people came back to Europe, and many people died in the way. So when people were going onto the geographical discovery, they could not find India, but they could find many new lands. They were able to find the group of islands, Madeira Islands. There are many group of islands that was found by the Europeans during geographical discoveries. And these small geographical discovery helped Europeans to boost their economy. In this way, many geographers tried to reach India, and there are many people got lost in the ocean, but there are few names who were successful in their expedition. These names are Bartholomew Diaz, Vasco da Gama, Christopher Columbus, Amerigo Vespucci, Ferdinand Magellan. These are some very popular names in the geographical discoveries. First, Bartholomew Diaz in 1485 tried to reach India, and they, and he and all his colleagues traveled through the ocean in the coastal through the coastal areas of the African continent. He reached up to the Cape of Good Hope, and there he found a lot of big storm, and due to which he was not able to muster courage to move further. And seeing such a big storm, he went back to Europe. But in 1498, following the path of the Bartholomew Diaz, Vasco da Gama reached Cape of Good Hope again, but he did not lose his hope and kept moving forward. And he came up to Somalia. And in Somalia, he met a one person, and that was the trader of Gujarat. That trade of the Gujarat helped him to land on the earth, on India, on the Indian land. He landed on the port city of the Calicut in Kerala, and that was the first Europeans visiting India in 1498 through the land route. That was the geographical discoveries of the land route to India, because the land route was already occupied by the Ottomans. Ottomans did not allow the Europeans to come to India, so that's why European was adamant to reach India anyhow. And lastly, he found a way to reach India, and that was found by Vasco da Gama. And this is the first name to reach India. Then comes the name of the Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was also trying to reach India, but in his expedition, he went on a wrong road. Instead of going in the east direction, he followed the west direction. His compass didn't work. When he reached the land of the North America, initially he reached the land of the West Indies, that we know that the group of the islands. That place, Christopher Columbus reached there. But Christopher Columbus found that, yeah, this land is the land of India. But later he found out that this is not the land of India. He has come to a new land, a new piece of land on the earth, and that was named as North America and South America on the name of the Amerigo Vespucci. Amerigo Vespucci was also a sailor. He was the first person to visit North America and South America. So that's why that land was named after the Amerigo Vespucci as America. But it was the Christopher Columbus who revealed that this is not India; it is some other piece of land. So that's why thereafter that pieces of land came to be known as North America and South America. And we all know today North America and South America is a home to many countries, approximately 50 countries. That is a home to 50 countries, and there are some countries more very powerful in the world: United States of Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina. These are some very big countries and powerful countries of the world today. And, and this was the fruitful expedition for the Europeans. Europeans tried to reach India, but in addition to reaching India, he found so many new pieces of land, and that gave power to the Europeans. And very soon, it was started by the geographical discoveries was started by the Spain and Portugal, but later the competition arose among Europeans, and North America was superseded by the British. South America was superseded by the Spain. So that's why all the countries in the Spain has a Spanish language, while all the countries in the North America speak English. Go to Canada, you will speak English. Go to United States of America, you will speak English. There were no English, there were no British living in those pieces of land. But after the discoveries of this particular land, all the Europeans started shifting to these countries. All those people who live in the country of the United States of America and Canada, those are not the original people of that land. Those are the people of the those people are Europeans, and those Europeans shifted to American land after its discoveries. And among in the name of the geographer, there is one name that is Ferdinand Magellan. Ferdinand Magellan was a really courageous people. He arranged five different ships, and in five different ships, 1,000 people boarded, and those people went on a long journey, went on an expedition into the deep ocean. He go into the he went into the east direction, but when he came back after 1 or 2 years, he came back from the east direction, and later it was found that the earth is not actually a flat, but it is actually round. How if it is a flat, you will not be able to reach, you will not be able to come back to the same place. If you go into the east direction, you will always remain in the east direction. But if you go into the east direction and you are coming back from the west direction up to the same place, that is a clear indication that the earth is not flat but is actually a round shape. So, in this way, geographical discoveries helped Europeans and or in the entire human being that we came to know about other pieces of land that was there on the earth, like North America, South America, Australia, New Zealand, Andaman and Nicobar Island, the Greenland, North Pole, South Pole, all these pieces of land, all these things we came to know just after the geographical discovery. Before this, there was so misconception about the earth. People were not knowing many things about the earth. Many misconceptions busted after geographical discoveries, and people were able to come to India. So that is the end of the story of the geographical discoveries. Thank you everyone for listening very patiently. Thank you.